This episode is brought to you by iconic Sydney beverage brand Young Henrys. Young Henrys believe in community and bringing people together through art, music, skateboarding and surfing. They create live events, they collaborate, they support. So go and get yourself a Young Henrys and always drink responsibly.
Tried to hold us back, to hold us, tried to hold us back.
We will be here forever. Do you understand?
Hey, it's Shan here. This week I catch up with George Richards. George is from Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, and he joins me in the studio this week for a full video production episode, which you can find on the THT YouTube channel if you're feeling that. Otherwise, he takes us on a journey through his life so far. George is 27 years old and literally living his best life. Talks us through what it's like to negotiate some brand deals, his sponsorships, competing in skateboarding, skate coaching, and his recent journey into modelling. So we get some images up. We also get some video clips of him up in the studio and he just talks us through it. It's a nice lighthearted conversation and we're joined by George's close friend and past guest, Amy Massey, who sits in and just, brings the vibe as she does. We also talk a lot about the community of Newcastle and how integral that has been to George's development, not only as a skateboarder, but personally. He highlights the camaraderie and the mentors that he's had and the friends that he has in the area and how that has really ignited his passion for skateboarding and also helped him progress and get better and better. I mean, he literally grew up skating Bar Beach Bowl, so there's no surprise that he's an amazing transition skater. But George, he can skate everything as well. He's like a bit of an all-terrain vehicle, that guy. It's a great episode. He's a great guy. He's a kind soul. So sit back, relax, and get to know Mr. George Richards, everyone. Cheers.
Child of the crayon, child of the light, styles of the neon belong to a culture destined to rock for eons. Time doesn't exist. Shut those cataracts, capture the virtualist. Now, let's get back to what makes things seem forever, whether it's unseen, unheard, or it's 16 again. Not a bother. Feel this old man river.
Yes. Mr. George Richards.
How's it going?
Good, dude. No relation to the pro surfer Mark Richards.
No, none at all.
So glad we clarified that, dude.
Got to figure that out first.
Man, it's so nice to have you on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Dude, I love your skateboarding.
Thank you.
Why are people from Newcastle so damn good at skateboarding?
It's insane, isn't it?
Why?
They just keep coming out of there.
Well, what's your theory on it?
I don't know. I swear I think you get better at skateboarding when you have people to skate with that you enjoy skating with. So the more fun you have when you're going skating, you skate with good mates, you have a great time, you've got so much more confidence. Confidence is what makes you good at skateboarding. So I think just everyone out there having fun, really good mates, it just pushes everybody and everyone excels so much faster. And we just keep bringing these skateboarders out of Newey. It's just working.
Yeah, I had Chris Yeo on the show recently, the founder of Amnesia Skateboards.
Sick.
And the history in that city is deep.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
It's a good spot for skateboarding.
Do you feel like you're the next generation or you're one generation behind now?
No, I definitely feel like I'm either one behind or that weird sort of in the middle one. I don't know, weird little stepchild or middle child.
For those that don't know, do you mind sharing your age?
I'm 27.
27, dude. You got so many good years ahead of you.
I hope so.
You got lots of friends?
Yeah, Newcastle again, just good people to go skating with. I got a nice little group of people that I just enjoy spending time with at the skate park or skating, and that's good. Good little net.
Yeah, and we've got the lovely Amy Massey with us today.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Yeah.
You're a delight, Amy. I'll say it. You're
Thank
a delight.
you. Thank you very much.
How'd you two meet?
Well,
That's a good question. Was it on that ad?
yeah, we met. We both got asked to be on an ad together for Visa Paywave.
I would have been 16, 17 maybe. And it was
It's a pay wave.
Yeah, down at 5 Dock.
Dude.
Yeah, I'd never been asked to do anything like that before. And then we had that message. And
I'd never been asked to either. It
Yeah.
was like our first proper ad. It was a proper commercial ad.
Yeah, no shit.
And George got paid way more.
it was pretty full on. To be fair, we both just sat in beanbags and ordered coffees all day.
we
So
did.
we didn't do that much.
What was the requirements for the ad? What'd you have to do? Just skate the bowl?
Pretty much, yeah. Cruise around the bowl.
They
was
built
kinda
like
it.
extensions. They built like shop extensions on the bowl. So George had to go up and like do frontside grinds and stuff on it.
No, I had to
Or
fall off.
Or you had to fall off. That's
Yeah.
right. He had to throw coins in this window and fall off. He's like, so I'm getting paid to fall off my board every try.
Yeah. I think it was the first time you could like start tapping your card when that came out.
Yeah,
right.
it was.
And then I was paying
shit,
with
okay.
coins, but everyone else was paying with the tap and pay thing.
Right.
So everyone else was landing their tricks, but I was falling over my coins.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him just like, who is this dude? Like he's shredded.
Yeah.
And we became friends after that.
So that was the first time you'd seen him skate in real life?
Yeah, like first time, I reckon
Yeah.
that was the first time we met. Like,
I think so.
I don't think unless Bowlzilla, but I don't even, I
Maybe.
think that was after all that.
That's
Yeah,
so
right.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you like treating your friends pretty good? Like you don't like pull their hair and shit? Jock?
Not on purpose.
Because like you don't pull their hair on purpose? Are you sure? I don't believe you, man. Because I've heard that you pull people's hair when you skate and shit.
What have we got?
What's this?
I didn't mean to. I didn't even know until I saw the video. I felt so bad.
So tell me
bad.
what happened. Like tell me what was the night? A Volcom demo or something?
No, it was the Young Henry's Miami Marquetta trip. So we'd gone all the way up the coast, just having the best time, and then finally got to this event at Miami Marquetta, and all these bands were playing, and we're skating the mini ramp, and then Kai's helping me jump up onto the railing, and I just started falling back, and I must have grabbed his hair.
It was the funniest
This is
thing
funny.
I've ever
Did
seen.
you film that, Amy?
I
You filmed it?
didn't film
You didn't
it.
film it,
I was
okay.
standing right there. So
Can you pause it there? You can't pause it, can you, Jock?
when it zooms
I hope
out,
so.
when it zooms out, there's like you can see my arm tat. So I must have been standing next to the person
Here we go.
filming.
Here we go. Right up. Slow-mo. Here it
But
comes.
I was
Here it
right
comes.
there.
Here it comes.
Yeah, rip.
So good.
But how much do you feed off the crowd in situations like that?
You don't hear them at all. You feed off your friends.
Okay.
That's how it works. Everyone's skating really well, so everyone else tries to skate a little bit better.
Yeah, right.
I'll stop moving so the chair stops squeaking.
Oh, I wonder what that was. I wonder what it was.
No, it's a chair.
I know what it is. Try that.
It was this demo
there
was
we go.
different too because it was like a DJ on the stage, then the half pipe, then the people.
Oh.
So the people coming in to watch the DJ, but then they're like, "Holy shit, there's a mini ramp here."
Yeah.
So it was packed full of
was.
people. Wow. But you couldn't see any of them. You just skate.
That event was so much fun. We kept getting told that like this was going to be our last demo, so we'd go backstage and we'd be like, "Perfect, end of the trip. Let's have some beers."
Yeah.
And then someone would come back out and be like, "One more demo." Happened like 2 or 3 times. It was beautiful.
So sick. They really showcase skateboarding then if they put it before the DJ. That's so sick. Yeah, like, going back to, filming a commercial and
Yeah.
making money from that. Is that a trajectory you're still on in terms of making a living that way?
I don't know. I think it's definitely something that works with skateboarding. My theory with skateboarding as a career is always not so much focus on skateboarding as itself, but think I have all these other things that I want to do. How do I bring those into skateboarding and build something that works?
Gotcha.
So whether that's, I was trying to study architecture for a little bit. So whether it's doing CAD work for skate park designers or coaching and bringing coaching in, find something that works. And if any of them start to run with it and see where it goes.
Like, see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's right. It's a good message for young people who have no clue what they want to do with their life.
Absolutely.
I mean, even adults, I think, need to accept that you can change your trajectory and your career path and what you want to do.
Yeah.
At any time.
You can have lots of things going at the same time. If one of them starts to kick off, then it works for you.
Are these the kind of philosophies that your parents have instilled in you?
A little bit. So my dad especially has always been someone that works really, really hard at what he's doing and someone that focuses really, really hard on what he's doing. But at the same time, he definitely grew up in that sort of time where you get a trade and you do your trade. So Dad's a sign writer and he's incredible at it, and he's done it my entire life. But he has always sort of shown me that there's lots of different ways to do things. Like, you don't need to go to uni when you're fresh out of school, 18. You can always do that later. You could always decide you want to change jobs. You can always just leave the job that you're at because you don't like it or you don't agree with it. There's always something to do.
There is. But I mean, Amy, when you were on, I asked you sort of similar questions, but do you feel like the future would have some sort of academia in it, like study again? Or do you think you'd go more down your own business type of route?
I think I kind of want to get involved in coaching after the Olympics. That's like something I want to try as well. Like what George was saying, try all these different things, see what you like the best. And then you also get all these skill levels, like different skills from doing all these different things that you can do it all. You know what I mean? Like I've done emceeing, judging. I want to do coaching. I want to see if I like that.
Yeah.
And
podcasting.
Podcasting. Hey, I'm here, the co-host. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. And then and then circle back.
Yeah.
I love that.
We'll do it all.
Yeah. The skate coaching thing you've done a fair bit of, right?
Yeah, ever since I was 15, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a while then. That's like over 10 years.
Yeah, it's a
Because
while.
when you first started, it was a relatively new thing, yeah?
Yeah, so I was at the skate park one day and I'm pretty sure I was 15, and the parents of this girl that skated the bowl all the time came up to me and said, hey, would you like to try some skate coaching? Like, we've seen you skate the bowl and we'd like our daughter to just progress and love it and get better. And I started doing it just like that. And then I started working at the local indoor park. And then when I moved to Sydney, I started working with Monster Skate Park. And then I just started getting more and more of my own sort of work to the side of just kids that want to get better at skateboarding.
Yeah, sick.
But it's been really fun. And then I ended up doing it in China as well, which was
Tell us that story.
different. I think Renton actually organised it. They wanted
Renton
someone.
Miller?
Yeah. They wanted someone to coach their Olympic team or their future Olympic team for 2032 or something like that. So it's really
They're thinking
little
ahead,
kids.
man.
Yeah. But they flew me over there and put me up in the Hilton, and I just went there every day to the skate park. There'd be
For how many weeks?
just for 1 week, just to
1
try
week.
it. They wanted me to move back and live there.
Yeah. And could those kids speak English?
Some of them broken English, but not
Can you
so
speak
much.
Mandarin?
I can't speak Mandarin. I can say Moi Dien and Kwai Dien, which is go faster or go slower.
You should tell him how they selected the skaters.
Oh, apparently they went to some sort of school where they do lots of different sport or something, and just showed everyone a skateboard, got every single kid in the school up to have a go, and then picked the top 20 on their first attempt. And that's it. You're shipped down to Shenzhen. Every single day you do 6 hours of skateboarding, 2 hours of school until you're an Olympian, I guess. It was different. I would get to the skate park every morning and there'd be 2 lines of kids, full pads, skateboards next to them, ready to go. And they've just done 2 laps of the oval.
To warm up.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's different.
Look, I have been resistant to skate coaching and probably spoke out about it.
Yeah.
But I have kids myself and I've been trying to teach them to skate. My son's really into it.
Yeah,
but
cool.
won't listen to a word that I say. And then just recently, do you know Jim Dandy from Queensland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a coach for this skate city thing they're doing at shopping centres, and I just put my kids in it.
Yeah, cool.
And oh my God, they did everything that Jim said, and they Jim had them dropping in, doing rock to fakies, and I'm like, yeah, man, skate coaching is awesome.
It's so common. I get so many
Yeah.
parents that say that exact thing.
Teaching a kid to drop in was what was the catalyst for me becoming a high school teacher.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, because over the years, just being at skate parks and whatever, as I got older, kids were like, oh, how do you do a kickflip? Or how do you drop in? And I'd teach them. And I'd feel as stoked when they would do it as when I first learned it. I kept getting that. I'm like, this is rad. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I better become a teacher.
Cool. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Can you tell me, if you reflect on your childhood in Newcastle,
Yeah.
overall from the age of 0, those early years, 0 to 10, how do you reflect on that period of your life?
It's a hard thing to remember. There was a lot going on. We had a lot of fun. I feel like I was at a good school, and then I had good friends and so many good people around me. And then I think I started skating when I was 8, I think. maybe Dad got me a board. So it was lots of support from everywhere that I was.
Yeah,
so I was pretty lucky.
Who were like some of your major skate influences when you were that young?
When I was a kid, a lot of them were just older dudes from Newey. So a lot of the older blokes that you'd see skating like Crowders Bay, or we'd go down to the entrance and you'd always see those guys just having so much fun. I remember watching, I think it was Dan Ridley doing a frontside tail slide and a frontside ollie when I was like this big. I'm like, I want to do frontside ollies. Like, that looks like so much fun.
And you have a nice frontside ollie.
Thanks.
Hey, can you get a clip up? There's the one at Rockdale, the clip of George skating the little bowl there. And you do a frontside ollie over that hip and you just float.
Oh, the other day?
I think it was the other day.
Yeah, with Amy.
And there's the hairput. Oh, what's that? What were those? Oh, is that your modelling? We'll talk about your modelling later. That's a sick photo, by the way. Let's get that. Here it is. I think this is it. I think you do a frontside ollie here. Did you see it? Over the
Maybe. We've got a couple of clips of Rockdale. Oh, is it? I don't know.
backside tail. Oh, maybe you
This
didn't.
is, I think I filmed this.
This one
It's
you
from a
definitely
while
filmed.
ago. Yeah.
An older one. Yeah. Okay, maybe you don't do a frontside
Here it
ollie.
is. Here it is.
That was the frontside ollie
It's
there.
about to, yeah.
Lost it. We'll go again. So talk us through this line. Like, what are you doing for those that are listening and can't
Little
see
roll in
this?
50, which went absolutely so much more wrong than it should have. Backtail, because that's such a fun spot to backtail. The coping there feels incredible. Little Smith, little grind around. But this hip actually works really well, and
It
you
is,
land in
boom.
nothing.
Oh, it's
Oh,
a
Ollie North.
Holy North.
I didn't
yeah.
know what else I did in that.
It's when you
how
had
do
blonde
how do you
hair.
rate that bowl?
You had
It's
blonde hair
small.
there.
That bowl's amazing. It's so small, but it's really, really fun.
Is Rockdale's one of your favourite parks, hey, Amy?
I love it. Everything's so little.
Is that what you like about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just smooth. Like that bowl, the coping's, it's probably got the best coping in in the whole of Sydney area.
Sounds
Maybe
so
even,
good.
I can't say Australia because I haven't been to all the parks, but it's got really good coping.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I've seen you skate Bar Beach Bowl. How integral has that been to your personal development?
Probably huge. In saying that, I remember being a kid and I'd only been skating it for a little while. It hadn't been open for that long. Actually, I think it might have even been like the opening event, and RJ Barbara was there. And I remember him coming up to me after we skated the bowl and he said, "This is the best bowl ever, but this is the worst possible place for you to learn how to skate."
Why? It's just too big.
Well, I didn't believe him at all
Too
to
mellow.
begin with.
Too mellow.
No, it's not that. I realized afterwards that that thing is so perfect that if I get to a park that has a slight bump or something in it, it takes so long for me to get used to it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Ages.
Yeah. Yeah, you just look. I was watching Marley skate it the other day, and then I've seen you skate it, and it just looks like you can just tell you've been skating it for that long.
Everything just
You know
works in
everything about
there.
it. Yeah, it does.
Works
eh?
so well. It's the best, like most simple design where you can just use it and make it work however you want to make it work.
How are things at home as a kid?
They're all right. I had dad moved to Sydney when I was pretty young, and I lived with mum. So it was all just busy, I guess. Just like walk to school in the morning, walk home, go skateboarding. Kind of the routine, just keep it going and going.
What suburb of Newcastle are you in?
I was in Highfields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
spot. Right on the Fernley track. Straight down the school.
Okay. I don't know the area. Do you know?
I don't even
Newcastle?
know. I don't even know Highfields. Like I know Newey pretty good, but I don't know Highfields.
Have you ever been on the Fernley track? There's like a tunnel.
And it's a downhill that just goes for, like a real gradual downhill that goes
Yeah,
forever,
exactly.
hey?
So that
have
was
to
sort of
show
on my
me.
backyard. So you just walk out the back and then
Nice.
stand on your skateboard and you arrive with your guitar on.
That's so good.
And like going to school as a kid, like were you a good student, you'd say?
Yeah. Oh, looking back as a kid, I feel like I almost bit off more than I could chew. I always wanted to do like so many different subjects that were science related or engineering related or somewhere fit into what I thought I wanted to do at the time, without realizing how much work that would be, especially when I'm finding this love for skateboarding and going to events and all that. You come back and miss a little bit and you're 6 weeks behind in 2 days.
Yeah. For sure. I get it. But still, like what you like chasing that dream. You know, I guess I was thinking about like what I was going to talk to you about today, and it comes up on the podcast a lot, like this notion of chasing a dream.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're at with that?
It's hard to say because I feel like the best, like you always chase it and you always put as much effort into it as you can, but you've also got to make sure that all of those things happen organically.
Gotcha.
But I think I've been very lucky, especially recently and in the last few years, Amy being an integral part of that and introducing me to my first management agency that helped me so much with skateboarding and sponsors and going to events and doing work with Instagram, putting content out for brands and ads and things. I think that really took me to a place where I had a really good net of sponsors and people behind me.
Gotcha.
And then that all just sort of snowballs on each other as you let it happen. So we do events like the one we did with Young Henry's where we went on that boat trip.
Yeah.
And then that introduced me to a friend of mine that takes lots of really good, he's a great photographer, especially for fashion.
Yeah, right.
So he started taking photos of me for Brixton. And then from there, someone from my agency now, IMG, must have seen those, I suppose. And we had a meeting and then gets me to today, really.
So that new agency is a modelling agency,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest in the world.
The biggest in the world.
They're pretty,
huge.
They're pretty big.
Right.
They're huge.
Are you
Yeah,
excited?
it's wild. I'm so excited.
So, like, how comfortable are you like with talking about that?
I'm comfortable talking about it. Absolutely. Yeah.
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 Cool, man. That's great. You should be comfortable with it. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it if I wasn't comfortable talking
That's
about
right,
it. But yeah, I like it a lot.
dude.
Interesting but different. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it getting you a lot of work? Was this one of your shoots that you did?
that is not one. What is that? Is that your shirt? Where is that?
It's not my shirt. I don't know whose shirt
So
it
what's
was.
the
but
backstory, Amy?
I think it was JD's.
I think JD took that photo.
ex-missus.
Oh,
You guys swapped shirts. You're like, I need that shirt, and you put it on. You rocked it all night.
I swear we were at an event or something, and there was definitely way too many beers. I could wear that.
No,
That looks sick.
we were at
Prove
a
it.
pub. We were at a pub
Cool.
in Newcastle.
We were just
Looks
at the
like you're
pub.
in a pub.
That's in the pokey room.
Perfect.
And you and what's his ex's name again?
Yeah, Jess.
Yeah, Jess. You just swap shirts, and you're like, yep, this is sick, perfect.
Yeah. I was like, I could wear that. Really?
What about the next
Absolutely.
shot? What about the next one, Jock?
Is this the one from-
What, is
yeah.
Was this on one of your fashion shoots or?
No, this was at Amy's event for BWS last week. We were standing in there and I was like, that thing looks sick. I really like that shirt.
Was that just last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also I have the same shirt, and I was wearing it one time, and he replies like, I need this in my life. And then
Yeah.
we're like got to a Fens, and he sees it in a large, and he's like to the girls that were working, can I have this shirt? Can I get it? And they're like, yeah. Like, and he's like, no, I'm being serious. Like, I actually want to wear it. And they're like, okay.
So good.
He comes out in it on, and all the girls are just like, sick. Like, he's rocking it.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it really hits a chord with me when someone tells me that I'm not allowed to wear something because it's not manly enough. I hate that
Yeah.
so much.
Let's discuss this. Why? Why do you hate that?
I have no idea. It just hits me
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is something I don't like at all. I
Yeah.
can't agree with that.
Okay.
So we were in the store and I said that it was cool. I was like, I could wear that. And then one of the boys goes, no, you can't. You absolutely can't. That's
Yeah.
a girl's shirt.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll have that, please.
But basically, like then if you show the next image, or if you pull up the next one, or this, there was
that's
one
a
more.
sick photo. I want to talk about that in a second.
There was another one where we were at an event and we swapped shirts, George and I, and then he's like, I'm just going to walk around this party in this. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And then I go, just so you know, like, you're going to get a lot of attention from girls. And he's like, well, I thought you were going to say from guys. I'm like, no, trust me. A lot of girls are going to come and talk to you. He's like, whatever, Amy. He comes back like 20 minutes later. He's like, I've never had that many girls ask me for my Instagram in my life.
Really?
I was like,
What do you think the attraction is then? It's just like they see a guy that's just comfortable in their own skin?
That's one of the reasons. Yeah, I reckon it's because of that. And I don't know, girls like to see V lines and abs.
No, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's it. We come back to the thirst trap.
Can guys do thirst traps? We talked about thirst traps in your episode.
George is the
so that's
living
a form
proof
of
of
thirst
it.
trapping.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Look at you. Look at you. All the girls are just like, they always stare at him.
How long did you leave it on for?
The whole night.
No shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, check it out.
We went out like
Yeah, I walked to the after party as well.
Yeah.
Funny.
That thing was sticking
Yeah.
on. The Young Henry's event up in Queensland where we swapped shirts
Yes.
was the funniest one.
That's
I think
the one.
that's where that started with me being really upset about that.
Oh, yeah. But who cares? Like,
I know. Amy had been covered in beer and she was freezing. And I was like, well, we'll just swap shirts because I had like a big, thick T-shirt on, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we were walking down the street in Byron and someone had a full-on go at me for wearing a girl's crop top.
Like what? Like just what are you doing?
Yeah. Like asked me if it came in men's and I was just so crazy.
So were you like receiving some like, harassment and discrimination?
Yeah, ridiculous.
You felt it. You felt that discrimination.
Obviously.
You felt that harassment.
Which is something that I'm not on the receiving end.
I think what
me.
you need to do is just keep wearing it, and then you'll just influence people to do it. You know what I mean? Make it a trend.
Why were you covered in beer? Just asking for a friend.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I got absolutely fucked up, like in
drunk?
a mosh pit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
That was that
it?
miniskirt gig.
The miniskirt.
Yeah, miniskirt played and we were all in the mosh. I'm pretty sure I broke
Yeah,
my nose.
but
What do you mean a miniskirt gig?
I don't know.
Oh, you
no,
were in
the
a
band is
miniskirt?
miniskirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't
band's
even know.
called
Oh,
Miniskirt.
see, did you know?
No, I thought there was like some weird sponsored gig that you
You
got.
the
would
next
you would
photo's
not
coming.
see me ever in a miniskirt.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I got pumped by this dude. Like I don't know what happened. I think he kicked me or something and I went flying back onto my back.
No way.
And like fully got whiplashed and all my beer went all over me.
Crazy.
And I remember coming over just like, I just got pumped. Like I can't go in the mosh anymore. And then when we went outside, it was freezing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
we swapped shirts.
But going back to the modelling stuff in all seriousness, like is it another example of something you're just going to play around with, see where it goes and
Absolutely.
and then change your mind later?
Yeah, well, no, I really like it.
Like what do you like about it?
I just think it's so closely connected to skateboarding, but it's not skateboarding.
Okay.
So I feel like skateboarding influences a lot of fashion and there's a lot of people who have been influential in skateboarding that have been so closely connected to fashion, which I love. So as this has started to work, I feel like it's just an extension of another facet of skateboarding that I can get behind and be a part of.
Right.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying like having that sort of skateboarding is still my main focus, but this takes the pressure off trying to go to contests and trying to perform every single time you get on your skateboard. I can just have fun.
Gotcha. Because that has been part of your journey, like, for example, possibly qualifying for the Olympics at one stage?
I was on the qualifying team for Australia. So we went to all the qualifying contests and like all like your Dew tours and world championships and all that sort of stuff. I finished third in the country.
Amazing.
When Tokyo came around, but obviously I didn't have enough points to go through. But it was
Right.
great to be a part of everything.
So the possibility of actually qualifying was off the table.
Yeah. So the way
Is that because you didn't
gotta be-
accumulate more points, or was there something else?
Yeah. So you need to accumulate a certain amount of points, or no. The way it worked at the time was the top 20 go, but because it's the Olympics, each continent has to have a representation, and every country is only allowed to take 3.
Interesting.
So if the top 10 are all the US, the top 3 go, 7 get deleted, and everyone else on the list moves up. So you need to make that top 20 cut and be in the top 3 of your country.
Gotcha. So am I correct in saying like you were trying to compete and qualify during COVID?
Yes.
Right. In America?
Yeah. So we got to travel.
Interesting.
It
During
was-
COVID?
Yeah. It was a lot. We got a government exemption. We got to get on a plane at Sydney Airport. I think there was 12 people on our flight or something
weird.
insane.
Did you get a whole row to yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
I wonder how much flights were then, because I heard flights were so expensive.
True.
You wouldn't have been paying, were you?
Not for that one, no. So that was good.
Nice.
We thought we were going to have to. It was only announced at the very end that it was all covered. So I had so many sponsors like getting behind me and trying to do like fundraising events and put parties on and all sorts of things. And then I had to call them all and say, hey, I know it's only 2 weeks away, but we've just had a phone call and everything's funded, which they were actually so stoked on. Everyone pretty much said, that's great. Have a party anyway. It was awesome.
Did you get to travel during that time?
No way. There was no way I was going anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, you couldn't.
I couldn't think of anything worse traveling during that time. Like, it was a scary time too. No one knew what was happening.
There's uncertainty, wasn't there?
Yeah. And like George, when he came back, like he had to quarantine in America for 2 weeks in a hotel room and then quarantine 2 weeks again. Like as soon as he got to Australia, he was in a month in quarantine, like solitude. Like
the quarantine
I think in
hotel?
the States you
I had
shared
to do
with
hotel quarantine when I came back, yeah. And then,
Did you have to pay? Or did they pay?
that was paid for.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that would have been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, it's a month of your life you never get back, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit less, but it was still quite a bit of time. I remember Amy came to my window and I'm like 15 stories up.
I was going for drinks. I was going to get a cocktail and I was like, yeah, George, come down. And he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm like, me in the pub, eh?
Like taunting him.
Yeah, he's like,
Pretty much.
He's like, he wanted to kill me. He wanted to kill me.
Tell us about that experience though. Like, were you in a room by yourself or with other people?
Yeah, so I was in a room by myself. I remember seeing the photos from like Sheezy and Tanae, and they could see the harbour bridge from their window and the view was incredible. And I looked out my window and there was a brick wall. Nothing else.
So how are you feeling your days? Like watching a lot of TV? Were you working out and stuff?
Yeah, we were doing, it was pretty much like prison gym workout. Yeah. I had a skipping rope, which was great because I'm 6'4" and the hotel room's not that tall.
Yeah.
So the poor people below me and above me were just hearing this skipping rope all day, just ceiling and floor.
Because you're tall and you're hitting both.
Yeah.
Is that how small it was?
It was pretty small.
Dude.
It was a weird experience. Coffee once a week.
Why?
Yeah, you can
Why?
order a coffee, but only once a week from the cafe.
And they'd deliver it?
Yeah.
Really? What?
They just like sleep all day.
No way.
Insane.
So you had to, like, were you drinking instant coffee? Because, like,
Yeah, they had instant coffee. Yeah.
Are you a coffee guy?
Yeah. Love coffee.
Yeah, same, dude.
Yeah, so good.
That's so crazy. Hey, Joel, can we get a clip up? Let's just get one up. We'll talk
do we
about
got?
it. Let's see what we got. Let's just surprise us. We've already done that one. We've got that one. Next one. We'll go back to the fashion one in a second. What's this one? Let's talk about this.
Oh, the Rambles video with Brixton. This was such a fun trip. Actually, it was the best trip and hell at the same time. I got so sick. I rarely ever get sick, and I got a really bad flu that entire time, and I had to do a voiceover for the entire clip.
No way.
And then day one, we went all the way out to this big sort of full pipe, and I just completely misjudged where the flat bottom was and broke 2 ribs.
No.
Yeah, so I already couldn't breathe. Then I broke 2 ribs. Then I had to film a voiceover.
No way. With broken ribs.
Yeah.
Broken ribs are the worst. Oh, my God. I've had them. It's just like, and they linger and the pain's there and you're scared to breathe too deeply, you're scared to cough, scared to sneeze.
Everything hurts.
So that's a Brixton ad.
Yeah.
Dude.
Kind of. It's more like, Tori, who was my manager at the time, and Hamish, her husband, came to Brixton and said, hey, we want to do this. We've got this great idea. We're going to go down and do this clip in South Australia, and sort of pitch it to them, made it all work, then brought me down there and we got it done, and it turned out to be incredible. I was so happy with it.
Dude, like, again, like this is just, your life is being documented in such a cool way. You know that, don't you?
I feel really lucky about it, to be honest.
So you acknowledge it?
Yeah, absolutely. Every single turn I've had with skateboarding has been so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm super happy to be where I am.
Yeah, we're both getting similar opportunities, and it is so good. Like, and I get to experience it with George a lot of the times too, because we were on the same sponsors like Young Henry's, Brixton, that we got to go do all this fun stuff together. It was really sick.
Do you think, Amy, it's like it's a form of collaboration, you think, with George? Or is it just more friends helping friends?
I think friends helping friends. Like, like when I started getting all these gigs, I was like, George would be perfect for this as well. Like he's trying to do a similar pathway to what I was doing anyways. And I'm pretty sure he was happy to be featured in some of my TikTok videos, which I was like, all right, well, if you're willing to do that, then you probably be the good person to put through to more sponsors and stuff. And then, like I'm pretty sure, I don't know, is that how you got on Brixton?
No, that's how I got, I ended up being managed by Tori.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she was talking to Brixton. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay.
The two redheads.
Interesting. I guess my question to both of you in some ways, like, I think we've sort of answered it. It's like, what's the end game? You know, what's the end game with that? Is it just let's ride this for as long as we can?
Yeah, well, I think that comes back to my sort of philosophy with skateboarding being this thing that you can bring so many different career paths into.
Okay.
So have all these different plans happening at the same time, and then if you can't skate anymore, then I'll go and do CAD work for a skate park company, or I'll do some coaching.
Do you think, would it be safe to say it's building like an industry knowledge as well?
Absolutely. That was the whole idea. Like, you've spent so much time inside skateboarding learning all this industry knowledge. You may as well take a career path and just headbutt it straight into what you already know.
Gotcha. So now you're getting like maybe fashion industry knowledge?
Slowly. I'm getting there. I love it. But
or is it more like like you're a creative as well? Like, do you see yourself as a creative? Somewhat?
I have no idea. I just see myself as someone that goes skateboarding and then things happen sometimes.
He's very creative. He sees like your creative eye sees like high quality videos and like high quality photos, and you've got a certain niche to what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
And that's exactly why IMG's picked you up, because they see that niche and they see that you're a good looking person. Well, you're a unique looking person as well. So they're taking that. Why are you laughing?
Uniquely good looking.
Unique. Yeah. No, but that's what they look for.
They look for unique.
They look for unique looking people with like certain bone structures and stuff.
Features.
And it's really cool that they're choosing a skateboarder. You know what I mean? So it's a good opportunity, and you can just see how it all plays out. Like there's Evan Mock. He does that. He does the skating, and he's rips and like does the modeling really, really well, and he's making it huge.
Yeah.
Like, so I know Nixon wants to do it too, but he's on a whole nother path.
Dude, Nixon,
so
wow.
good.
He's such a good skater. You skate with him much?
I have heaps. I never know where he's going to be. I swear I just come to Sydney sometimes and he just turns up. That's great. I love that kid.
He's a gypsy.
Yeah.
Floating around.
Can I say this? Like, I don't know him personally, but he looks like he's a good looking dude.
Yeah, for sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd be cut out for that trajectory as well.
He's done a little bit of modeling as well.
Yeah.
But he's focusing on like, he's young. So he's focusing on, trying to go pro for Creature.
Oh.
He just signed internationally with Creature. So
yeah,
that's the first step. And then.
Yeah. I feel like, when he was in that last trip in the States, in my mind, I'm like, there's going to be like some sort of bidding war over that guy.
Yeah, there would have to be.
In terms of being targeted as like the next big thing. Like, let's face it. And not just that, like the fact that he just skates everything.
Yeah.
Like it's just, Creature's probably the best fit for him, right?
Yeah, I think it works.
Speaking of Creatures, Marley Ray, the new skate park in Newcastle, put up a clip.
How's that?
And there's a 13 stair there, and he just ollied it as a setup.
Yeah, to go
roll into the bowl.
Yeah.
Did he?
And
it's insane. It's so
I kind of looked at the 13 stair as like, I don't think they made the 13 stair to be skated. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't planned. It's just, it's a big stair gap.
The park's not even done. There's probably going to be stoppers or something on it.
I want to see that clip.
You should see it. And like you said, like lands and then boom, straight into the bowl. And I think he does probably like a Smith grinder or something. And then a backside 360 over the hip. I'm just like, that kid, man.
Wild. He did that first try.
Yeah. But you're a bit of an ATV as well.
Sometimes.
You skate street?
Yeah. I mean, I skate as much as I can just because.
He skates street. He does. He skates street better than me. You do.
Thanks.
I can't grind rails.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you just beat me in a game of skate.
I was going to say,
we got here.
actually, I don't want to say it, but like, did we actually decide who won skate today?
No, I don't think I could put myself through it again because I
Amy-
think Amy's beat me like 17 times in a row.
Really?
I love skate.
Yeah.
When Amy did the nollie shove it, I was like, damn you, Amy, I can't do that.
I know what people hate, and I'm like, all right, I'll do these
Yeah,
ones.
it starts off so nice, and then towards the end, Amy just starts doing like all of these body varials and leg shoves and everything,
Yeah.
and you just end up walking out of there like, again?
It is the best way to warm up, I reckon.
It is for sure.
But speaking of warm ups, like, do you do much for your body
Yeah,
in terms
Try
of
to.
you warm up, you train?
yeah. So I've been doing ever since I hurt my MCL.
I want to talk about that.
I started doing a lot of strength and conditioning, and then just sort of picked up on the fact that it was making me feel so much better when I went skateboarding.
Yeah.
So much better, so much stronger, so much more nimble, lighter. It just works. And now I think I'm at a point where if I don't do it, I can really tell the difference in how my body feels.
Gotcha. Can we get the clip up? Because you sent us a clip of you post MCL surgery. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
So let's find it here. Yeah. So you had a complete tear of your MCL.
Yeah,
You
I
were
think-
back in 6 weeks. Is
Yeah.
this the clip you sent associated? Was that it?
No. So the clip of me actually snapping my MCL isn't on there because I was doing a slappy.
Oh, you did it doing a slappy. A
I think
slappy's
I'd
a gnarly,
already heard it.
man.
Yeah.
They get people.
I'd had pain in it for a little while and I didn't really take any notice of it. And then I
Yeah.
just sort of slipped off the back of a slappy.
Right.
And then it just, you heard it just go like this. It was disgusting.
With the MCL.
Yeah.
But I've heard that if you're going to do any of those ligaments, I heard the MCL is the best one to do.
Yeah.
It's got blood flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll heal.
All right. And what, you just heard it go pop. Like
Yeah.
it made like a pop
You can
sound?
feel it, you can hear it, and then it's so strange. It's not so much heaps of pain, it's you feel sick
Yeah.
in your knee.
Oh,
Really sick.
Touch wood. Is
Yeah.
this wood, Jock?
is it
Have you ever had a knee? You haven't had a knee injury, have you, Amy?
yeah. Remember we spoke about my dislocation.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't tear it.
I didn't, yeah.
You didn't rupture
Luckily, I
ligaments.
didn't,
You
yeah.
just popped it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was horrible. And I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just. No biggie. It went back in.
Yeah, but
that
yeah, you didn't
was-
have to have surgery post that.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I just did the surgery myself.
Did you have surgery from the
Whacked it back
MCL?
in.
No. I had so many people look at it, which I was
Yeah.
really lucky for. And then we sort of figured we could get it back, and we had the World Championships in Rio in 9 weeks, I think.
Fuck.
So I was full on, and I've got Cultivate Recovery up in Newcastle.
Yeah, let's get that clip up, Jock. Yeah.
They're amazing. They helped me so much.
Yeah, I've been past that place. Where is it? I want to go back to that Instagram shot. Is this, yeah, just that one? That's the one, I reckon. So tell us about this. This is you at Bar Beach Bowl.
Yeah, so they were
Ripping.
all just like clips before I snapped it.
So that one there, you did the splits.
That one sucked.
Why be wearing a high-vis vest?
I thought it was funny at the time because it was at the skate park. It wasn't very funny. But yeah, this place is the best. And then the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, that's what I was in as much as I could, like almost every single day. And it just compresses the oxygen down. You get more oxygen into your bloodstream, and then it just promotes tissue growth or tissue regrowth.
Can you breathe in there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's like
Really?
when you go on a plane and, you know, when your ears pop in that, like, kind of feels like that. It's like,
Like pressure?
yeah.
it is the best nap you will ever have
Yeah.
as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's so much more oxygen in the air. So your breathing slows down.
Is that place got sauna and ice bath?
Yeah.
You got to go check it out. It's amazing.
So good.
It's around the corner from my house, actually. Let's go.
Yeah.
Definitely go.
I'm going, mate. We'll do a session.
Go sit
Now,
in.
while we've got this clip up, just keep it going, Jock. Bar Beach Bowl, there it is. What's your favourite element of Bar Beach Bowl?
My favorite element of Bar Beach Bowl, I think it's got the best coping out of anywhere I've ever been to,
Okay.
but I'm biased because that's where I always skated when I was growing up. I just think the simplicity of it. So like I'm fairly certain it was Johnny Bogarts. Yeah, that designed it.
Was.
And that design for a bowl, the difference or
There it
just
is.
having so many different elements in it, but it's still being so simple.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of bowls coming around now that have so many different elements and it just makes it too complicated.
Confusing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Bondi Bowl's an example of that. They kept it pretty simple.
Yeah.
Because really it's just like, I wonder if Bogart's like built his idea off Bondi Bowl.
I'm sure he would have taken elements from
Yeah.
Bondi and lots of other places he would have skated.
Yeah. Ah, it's sick, man. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, so going back to your trajectory in life, you graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, high school days, good times for you.
Yeah, they were okay. I feel like I was doing so much skateboarding that everyone thought that I just wasn't coming to school.
Yeah.
We'd do events and things, so I'd disappear for a week and then I'd get back and be like, oh, I did this event, like it was going here and all this sort of stuff. And they'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. No, sure you were. No worries. Like this skateboarder is just ditching school for a week and I'm doing God knows what, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a strange situation because no one at my school skated really. I had one friend there that skated for a little bit. But everyone else just sort of, I don't know, played cricket and Xbox.
I was the same. Like it was the same for me in school. No one really skated. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
But your parents were supportive.
Yeah.
You said that, and were yours as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were, absolutely.
Yeah. Dad used to take me to the skate park and just sit there. I'm pretty sure he was doing he might have been doing his master's. And he would just sit in the car and just like
studying.
Or was his bachelor's or his master's? I don't know. Yeah. But he would just like do all his uni work in the car at the skate park and just let me go skating for 4 hours. It was the best.
So you got a close relationship with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you like about him the most?
That's hard to put a pin in. Hey, he's so much fun. He's a good bloke to talk to. And I feel like he's just really got his head screwed on the way you want it to be. Gotcha. Like he's sort of that.
Like more of a mate vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's the relationship I've got with him. But he's also that person you can look to and be like, hey, this is something that I'm doing and I just want some sort of guide on how I can do that properly.
Sick, man. Yeah. No, it's nice to hear. Like I guess like since I've been doing the podcast for a while, like one of the most interesting things that come out of it is that like parents like to listen to their children speak on the podcast.
Yeah, cool.
You know, so I sort of asked that because your dad might listen to this and
see how he does.
Yeah, because you might not say that to him. I had a really interesting thing. Have you heard of Chris Markovich, old pro skater from the 90s? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had him on the podcast actually, and years ago. And I got an email from his mother, Beverly Markovich,
really
saying, "Thank you. I've never heard my son speak like that, and good to hear him in a different setting." You know,
that's incredible.
So, because I think as we get older, some people just don't talk to their parents as much.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely.
So I just think it's good.
Yeah, everyone get out there. Call your mum, call your dad.
Yeah, call them all.
Call
up.
everyone.
When I went up to the Goldie last week, I went and visited my nan and pop.
How were they?
And I left my podcast on the TV as I was leaving.
Locked the TV so it plays on repeat.
I was like, there you go, guys. Enjoy. You're going to learn about my whole life.
Do you want to hear something? My parents are elderly and they watched your episode. My mum's like, oh, that Amy Massey, she's just delightful, isn't she? That's what she said.
I love your mum already.
Don't get me started. I love my mum too. I'm a mummy's boy, but yeah, that's super sweet. Hey, I want to go back to like some of the like your lifestyle and that you and Amy have cultivated together. Can you get that picture up of them at the Rolling Stone Music Awards? And I want to talk about that night. Like this one, that's a rad photo.
That was so much fun.
So tell us about that night.
What was that? That was Brixton.
Yeah, so Brixton took us to the music awards and we just got to show up, go to their what did they have? They had a custom hat. Oh, it was the first time they had their like customizable hat station where you could go and get your sort of name or anything you wanted laser engraved onto the hat.
Yeah, sweet.
It was really cool.
That. They were like, it's going to be your first red carpet event. So it was really exciting. Dorothy the dinosaur was there.
Yeah. We got kicked
from
off
the Wiggles.
I think we got kicked off the carpet for someone. Like Tina Arena kicked us off the red carpet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we skipped the whole line. They were like, Tori, I can't remember who said it, but they're like, you don't need to wait in this line. So we just started walking to the front and just went on the red carpet and then we're doing our thing. And then, Tina, whatever her name is.
Tina Arena?
Yeah.
Oh, Tina Arena?
Yeah.
She must be old now.
It's my turn.
Because like it's good. I find it interesting to talk about because like not everyone gets to experience these kind of things.
Yeah, it's different.
So like it is fun.
You know who
it is fun, or is it just a bit overrated?
You know who has experienced all this? Musker.
Chad Musker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
When he was dating Paris
Hilton. Yeah, I remember when he was
He would
dating
have
her.
had to do all that. But yeah, it's just different from what you used to. It's very out of your comfort zone. But
What do you do when you see famous people at those things?
Normally accidentally not recognize them.
Deliberately not recognise it?
I just stare at them from across the room, or awkward. Nah.
Everyone's just a person.
Yeah, is that a big? That's a big realization I've had over the years.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
Just another person trying to get through this experience, whatever this is.
Yeah, and if there's one thing I know about people, the last thing they want to talk about is work.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people, if you go out and not know who they are, that's probably the best experience they're going to have.
Yeah. Why do you think? Because they're constantly having to speak to people like fans and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, even Amy and me, obviously not so much. I'm sure every single time you go to a pub or go anywhere, the only thing anyone wants to talk to you about is skateboarding and TikTok.
Yeah, sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Do you get that a lot?
I think, well, now everyone just wants to talk to me about the Olympic stuff.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, everyone's like, oh, Paris. But it's sick because like, I actually want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we do for work's so different to what other people do as well. So it's almost like you want to talk about what you're doing because it is nice.
I get like full imposter syndrome though. So people ask me questions about skateboarding and all that sort of thing. And I'm just like, I don't know how to talk about this without like just talking about myself the whole time. I'd rather find out what you do.
Well, I'll just always palm it back onto them. Like I'll say what I need to say and I'm like, anyway, so about you.
Yeah.
Like, and I never used to do that. It took me ages to learn. Because I would talk about myself for ages, right? And then I never used to be like, anyways, so about you. And someone pulled me up one time, was like, how come you never ask about their lives? And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that. And they're like, ask about them. And then I started doing it. And then I was like, oh, makes sense.
Nice.
But to be fair, most people just want to talk about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me a while to realize, like, this was when I was in my early 20s, you know, I was just, all I cared about was skating. So when people asked me questions about skating, I couldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
When you have a conversation with someone, Amy, do you listen or do you wait your turn to speak?
I used to not listen.
Now it's changed.
But now I listen, yeah.
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 I think people just want to be heard. They want to be seen.
Yeah.
And like, I just want to bring up something that's kind of heavy. I'm sorry, but I think it'd be nice to talk about, like, especially in the skate community. There's been some heavy losses lately with people taking their own lives. And I just want to put the message out there that, you know, we do need to talk to our friends, but I also think, like, we need to listen and we need to really listen to our friends, okay? Because if you do take that time, I feel like you will see the signs.
Absolutely. There's so many people that'll just sit in their little shell too. So many mates that you'll just like not talk to for so long, but you really should check in.
Is that something you do with your friends? Try to?
Now especially, I swear this last year has just been so full of like just those instances that it's become something that's really important to me. Like calling your friends on the way home. Like you're always in the car. Just call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. Everyone.
And it's not weird either. It's not like, oh, you haven't spoken in a while, so like, or they're going to be weird about me calling. Like, people want to talk to you. Like, just call them up. Yeah. I call my friends all the time, and check in on them. Like, I don't want to lose a friend.
But what does it do for your own mental health, Amy?
I mean, like you can help each other through everything. So, yeah, like say I've got something going on in my life and I've been depressed, like I'm not going to sit there and just not talk to no one about it. I always voice it out because I can't have it. You can't have it like on your shoulders, you know what I mean? You need to get it out, talk about it, get over it, move on. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more to life. And it's very it's just selfish when people do that, you know what I mean? Because they're not thinking about anyone else, they're thinking about themselves. And then they go and then, you know, there's so many people that are just sad and it hurts. So people need to talk to each other.
And I don't know why it works. It just works. You know, I've often thought about like, why does that work?
Just human connection.
But I think also like when you get whatever's in your mind, like, and have to then process it and articulate it through your mouth, it is a release. Okay. And it helps your brain make sense of those things. Because sometimes like the thoughts in your head can be deceiving and they can be inaccurate. You know, you can just make situations out to be worse in your head than they really are and things like that.
Yeah.
So when you verbalize it, it's like, okay, I get it. All right. That makes sense. It's actually not as bad as I thought. So
Yeah, get that perspective.
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
Sort of
100%.
understand yourself a little bit better even.
Yeah.
yeah, it's rad, man. Yeah. So Jock, what other clips we got there? Let's get that photo up. There's one in the bowl. He's doing like it looks like a backside nose blunt. Not this, that
Oh,
one.
the
Can we
front
stop
nose
there?
one.
Yeah.
Nose blunt.
So let's talk about this photo. Who took it?
That was Joel when
Oh,
we were on that
really?
Young Henry's trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
No
How
way.
good is
It
it?
is such a sick photo.
I was so happy when he showed me that. That was on the second day of the Young Henry's trip or first day.
Yeah.
So is it a front side nose blunt?
Front nose one.
It was the first day.
No
yeah.
pads.
I've actually never done one in there with pads. I've done them a bunch of times, but I have never been able to make it work with pads on. I don't know why.
Well, because look how kind of your foot would be touching your pad on your knee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
If you tried it with pads, you'd get in the way.
That trick. The first time I ever did that trick in there, I had Marley pretty much tackle me as soon as we got out of the bowl.
Because he was so hyped for you.
Yeah. Little hype guy was so sick.
What's the key to that trick?
Try and kick yourself in the back of the knee with your back foot,
Okay.
I think.
Sure.
Or actually, I don't even know. I swear you can just feel it and then it works, or you feel it and it doesn't work.
I've never done one, so don't ask me.
I got a theory on blunts.
Yeah.
I once heard that just pretend they're a rock to fake you or a rock in. So don't linger there too long. It's just touch, go, touch,
Yeah,
and
you
go.
got to be straight out of it for sure. But on vert's different as well, again, because your nose doesn't hit the wall
Yeah, gotcha.
or your tail doesn't hit the wall. It just sort of floats over the coping and you got to hope that it works.
Crazy, man. No, it's a beautiful photo. And for those that are listening and not watching the podcast, it's a black and white photo of George coming in on a frontside nose blunt in the deep end of Bar Beach Bowl. And unless you've actually skated that bowl, it doesn't really George makes it look easy, but that's a deep bowl. What is it? That's 13-footer, isn't it?
No, it's only 11.
It's only 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only.
But still, when you're
Only 11.
But when, I mean, have you skated it? When you're in the deep end, I'm like,
It's
wow,
huge.
it's deep.
It's huge.
There's so much wall here. But I'm not a vert skater or a bowl rider, so
Once you get used to it, it's better for it to be bigger.
okay.
Especially if it's got a lot of transition, because you can just land in the transition and slide out of it.
Yeah.
I always get smoked on the small ramps, not the big ones.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
But that's the thing, right? Big bowl skaters, they'll skate mini ramps and they just die on it. And then, like, if you take me, a mini ramp skater, to the bowl, I'm gonna die. Like, no. It's weird how like big bowl skaters can't really skate minis.
Yeah, right.
It's like almost too small.
Too
for them.
small.
I'm
I
like,
get
what
it.
is this?
Well, I've heard that like they got more transition to work with, so things can
Yeah.
move slower.
Exactly. Yeah, you do less, every movement slower.
I think I just like going really fast. Like,
Do you ever pad up, Amy, and skate the big
I tried growing up, padding up, but I just would run out. I didn't know how to use the pads.
Yeah. And drop the slide to your knees.
Yeah, I'd learn, like I'd run up the ramp and do the whole knee slide thing and try and then as soon as it come to me falling off the board, I would run out and I'm like, why? Why won't my brain let me do this? Mm-hmm. And then I didn't want to like get used to knee sliding either, because then I thought maybe if I took them off, then I was going to go to my knees. So I was like, you know what? I don't need to learn hand plants right now.
That's always been my theory. It's like if I put them on once, no, I used to skate with knee pads on when I was younger, but I'm like, if I put them on, like I'm just going to default to dropping to my knees, and I don't want to do that.
Nope.
But you've seemed to have worked it out.
Nope.
You don't.
No, I've definitely gone straight to my knees with
Without
knee
pads.
pads on.
No
and
shit.
you notice, because you've usually got a lot of time. So you start the knee slide almost up on the vert, and then you can feel your knees, or like the skin coming off the fronts of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get back up while you're still all the way up at the top of the ramp and start running. and then usually just trip.
Dude, I just noticed in the comments, my good friend who I grew up with, Jeremy Rowling, Gembotic,
Sick.
one of his comments is up there, Krakatini.
Krakatini.
Yeah.
Krakatini.
That's definitely something Jeremy would say. Did he ever take any good photos of you? Because he was like really shooting a lot of photos there for a while.
Yeah, so he was always down at the bowl when I was a lot younger and everyone else was obviously younger as well. And we'd go down to the skate park almost every single afternoon, just skate bar.
Sick.
But yeah, he'd be there quite often, either skating or taking photos or doing both.
Yeah. And shout out to Jeremy. He actually suggested that you come on the show. He's like, you got to speak to George, man. He's a legend.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What a good bloke.
Yeah. And I really I still consider you a younger crew, you know, and like I'm really like I enjoy, like I want to document your journey through this, you know, get you on again, you know, because I just think documenting is so important. And I also love this long form content. Like you're a short form content master. I just think there's a place for long term content, you know, so it's good.
100%.
You think there is?
Yeah, your YouTube's going to kick off.
Oh,
Hey, it will.
okay.
Believe it.
I trust
Believe
you.
it.
I
It
believe
will.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Where are we at with the clips? I want to see if we've got it all up. If there's anything else we didn't talk about. We talked about that one. Yeah, man. I think we've gone through all the stuff we wanted to. Oh, yeah. This is the last one I wanted to.
This is the one
touch
in
base
COVID.
with. So this is during COVID in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is in
Dude,
Iowa.
In Iowa.
Yeah. Sick.
Tell us about the trip.
It was actually really, really fun because we hadn't been anywhere for a little while.
That Smith grind.
So it was so good to go over to the States and just see all my mates. That's been the biggest thing with all of these contests. Like you go over to a different country and all of a sudden you're with your best friends in the world from all over the world and you're all in one spot. So it's almost like a little reunion of people you haven't seen in so long. And that's the best thing about them. And this was no different.
Dude,
but
who did that,
obviously
Benny
it was a
Hanna?
little different. I think that was Keegan.
Okay.
Or he's got a
Keegan
backside flip.
Palmer.
Yeah, I think so.
How's the front? Feeble.
Everyone's so little in this. Like, look at Kieran.
It still seems like it was so recent. Cheesy.
Man, I do not miss those face masks. For God's sake. Those face masks.
I'm going to have to wear one on the plane.
Yeah, I actually
Can't
get that.
afford to get sick.
I get that. Because do you want to share about? Because last time we had you on, it was just before Istanbul. Yeah, you were just about to go to Istanbul.
No, to Budapest.
Budapest,
Yeah.
sorry. And
Yeah.
can
and
you tell us about your experience there? You got really sick.
So, yeah, just some guy on the plane next to me was coughing his lungs out.
Oh, how good.
And I just thought maybe it was a smoker or something. And I'm a mouth sleeper, so I sleep with my mouth open. And I was in the middle seat, so this guy was coughing into my mouth all night on the plane. So bad, eh? I was like, I remember waking up like just all fucked.
Back at the
and
hotel
then
or on the
he's
plane?
still coughing, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get sick. And then 2 days later, I'm basically dead in my hotel room. Like my temp was about to reach 40 degrees. I was about to go to hospital. I had to get the doctors to come in and give me a needle and all this. And I didn't get to judge the contest because I was too sick. So I got to judge the last day, but I was the alternate judge. So I didn't get to put a score in. And it made me realize I love my job. I was like, because I had so much FOMO, I was like, oh, I actually really like doing this job.
Being part of it.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Yeah. Well, the good news is you got it out of your system now, and you're not going to get sick when you go to Paris next week.
Yeah. Wow. It's either next week or this Sunday. It's crazy.
How proud of your friend here are you for doing this?
Couldn't even tell you. I'm so proud of Amy. She has so much
Yeah.
fun. She loves what she does. And
Yeah.
she's doing incredible things
And you guys-
almost every day.
Yeah. Been keeping busy.
Do you guys get asked? I don't know if I should ask this, but you're good friends. But do you ever get do people ever go, oh, are you two like?
Oh, someone asked if Amy was my
Today.
girlfriend
You guys-
Today.
I was going to say, do you get asked that often?
Like a couple of hours ago. Yeah.
Maybe siblings. Has anyone ever said siblings?
Weirdly, no, because that's what I'd go for.
Yeah. No, but today at the IMG models, she was like, oh, is this your girlfriend? And I was like, oh, I'm his friend. No,
Yeah.
we've been good mates for I don't know how
I
long.
couldn't even tell you. Oh, well,
10 years, 11
11
years.
years, yeah. Yeah, so many trips, so many fun times.
Yeah. Yep. And you are uniquely good looking.
So are you. I don't know if that was a dig or not.
I think it's a
Because
compliment.
earlier I said you're
I
good
know.
looking, you got a unique
That's
look.
what I'm talking about.
Don't you reckon? I said, is the point you're making like, you know, these days you've got to have some kind of little feature or different factor
I think it's
about
bone
you.
structure. They look for bone structure.
Do they?
If you got like nice cheekbones,
I'm just having a look at something. Okay. Just, yeah,
nice
keep going.
cheekbones,
Yeah, nice.
and like he's got fair skin, like the fair eyebrows and stuff. It's a unique look,
Yeah, it is.
which is they want unique people, I guess.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm not a model.
I'm going to put this to you,
George
like,
is the model.
what advice would you give to, like, you know, we're starting to wind it up a bit, but what advice would you give to an upcoming skateboarder who wants to make something of it right now?
I think my advice to them would be just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep skating as much as you can. Just keep trying to get better. Not as quickly as you can, but as organically with those people that support you as you can. And then just keep taking in everything that you see at the skate park. Like, if you're there with your friends, get your friends and go, let's film a clip. Like, let's try and get this done. Let's try and learn a new trick. Just stay busy and just keep trying to be productive, because the more productive you can be, I swear skateboarding is not even about how good you are at all. It's about who is pushing themselves the hardest. That's my favorite thing about
it's about who's
skateboarding.
having the most fun.
Yeah. Who's just pushing themselves a little bit harder than they were yesterday? Who's putting in a little bit more work than they were yesterday?
Like their own personal boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It is, man.
That's what people notice as well. If you want someone to, or a brand or anyone to get behind you, I swear they notice just how much work these kids put in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing that comes up.
Work ethic's key for everything, dude.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest lesson skateboarding teaches people is work ethic and resilience. How many times, like, fall down 7 times, get up 8, you know?
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
And that translates into everything you do. And that's why I do have a lot of respect for you, for what you guys are doing, because you're doing life on your own terms and not letting, you know, you're not conforming or being like dictated by haters or people that resent this alternate path that you're taking. I think it's really crucial, and especially like the older gatekeepers of skateboarding. I think they need to wake up and go, this is what's going on with the next generation, maybe.
Yeah, I just want
Would
to
you
enjoy what
agree?
I do.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I just
Some of
want to
them
enjoy
won't-
what I do.
Yeah, some of them won't change. Some of them would. That's just how they're going to be. Like, it's the next generation. That's all it's going to be changing. So
Yeah.
it's just like people are just going to have to get used to it, I guess.
And that's funny because, like, when the older crew and myself included, we were deemed as like misfits and outcasts for doing something that was different.
Yeah.
But then, and I've done it myself, I'll readily put shit on people doing something that's different to the norm now.
Yeah.
You know, so who am I to judge?
I mean,
It's
we got
wild, that
some looks
transition.
today when
Yeah.
when we walked into that IMG
So what were you
building,
doing
because it's a corporate building. There's heaps of different companies in that work in offices in there, and there's 2 dirty skater rats walking in with their boards to a corporate building, and you just people like double looking like, you know, like, who are these people? Why are they in here?
Yeah.
It's been such a strange transition to go from, well, I swear it's still stuck with so many people where they see someone with a skateboard and go, this person is just absolutely no good, doing nothing.
There's a stigma,
That
yeah.
whole stigma, exactly. And then just knowing in the back of my head, especially when we were doing all like this trip still, I was getting so much of that everywhere. And then going, like, someone can show up to my house at 2:00 in the morning and ask to drug test me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
They
For
the
skateboarding.
Olympics.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
I've heard
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
To catch you out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But people still have that stigma. Like, all this strength and conditioning, all this mandatory drug testing. I'm like, you dirty skater rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
bizarre.
always, we're always going to be misfits.
Yeah.
Always.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But actually, I want to say one more thing. Is like, I do believe that there is some gatekeeping required in skateboarding.
Yes.
to
Yeah.
keep things to keep things legit, you know, and keep it real. There has to be some of
Absolutely.
that, and calling out of things that aren't positive or conducive to the culture.
Absolutely.
Say
Yeah.
that, but open-mindedness is key as well. Whatever. Dude. I don't know, man. How you feeling? You think we've got it all out? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good. I just want to say thank you again for having me.
Of course, man.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Just one more thing. Like, what's next for you, though?
What's next for me? A lot more work on Instagram, I believe. Hopefully a few more events. Hopefully a lot more modeling. I want to do it as much as I possibly can. Hopefully a trip or two. Just try and film as much as I can too.
George and I want to work on more clips together and stuff on IG and
collabs.
Yeah.
I'd love to do another video like the Brixton one. I've been talking to a couple of mates about that. That would be great. Not something that's completely solely focused on being a skateboarding video part, but something that's more lifestyle orientated with the same sort of trick selection. So like pick tricks that I would want for a part, but then build them into a lifestyle clip instead.
Okay.
That's sick.
That's
So
what I would
not
like.
an actual video part.
Yeah, not just like 4 or 5 minutes of full on skateboarding, nothing else. Something that's got lifestyle added to it, but the skateboarding is still at the level of
High level.
something that I'd want to release for a part.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'd love that.
Creative.
YouTube.
You are creative.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I do not need a YouTube channel.
Why don't you need a YouTube channel, man?
Yeah, why not?
I guess.
Actually, have you got TikTok?
I have it. I haven't posted for TikTok in a long time.
Yeah, he was actually starting to go viral because he started a TikTok around when I started it. And his clips, there was the Kieran Woolley one, I'm pretty sure you uploaded on there. That went crazy.
That was Instagram. That was like
Insta.
9.7 million views or something ridiculous.
It's just crazy the amount of views.
And it wasn't even me.
It
was Kieran.
Kieran.
Obviously, it was
Kieran
Kieran.
Woolley.
Kieran doing a line and like just went viral.
I put it up just before he skated the Olympics, and I was like, "Good luck, Kieran."
Yeah.
And then it just blew up. And then it got good views on his account too, but it was almost nothing compared to what it did on mine, and I cannot understand why it happened.
It's bizarre.
I was filming Kieran's run in the Olympics when he slammed into that cameraman in my living room, and like it was the funniest thing ever because you can genuinely hear me cracking up laughing like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And I put that clip on TikTok and I think it got 10 million views or something as well.
crazy?
Yeah, it just went viral. But then like I guess a lot of other people were at home filming it as well. So there was just all these different clips on there went super viral.
Yeah.
And then Keegan's did as well because he got interviewed and he looked stoned on the news.
Yeah.
But he was like really tired. He's like,
Been out in
yeah,
the sun all
dude,
day.
like I'm just so
1,000
happy that
degrees.
I won. And everyone was like remixing it like, is this kid high?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I interviewed Kieran in Kingpin Skate Shop in Wollongong. Shout out to those guys. And we did a live podcast. And
Yeah, sick.
he talks about that. And then my friend Ryan Grant edited a visual of him talking about the experience of running into the cameraman.
Yeah, so good.
And then we played the clip. And I mean, it's just hearing it firsthand was just so funny, you know. But I feel like congrats to Keegan Palmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He won that comp. But I kind of feel like Kieran's hitting the cameraman, you know, kind of won the day as well, you know.
Yeah.
And for us people from Wollongong, we're just like, yeah, that was for Wollongong, you know.
Sick.
So
Absolutely.
we love him. Yeah, man. All right, we might leave it there.
Cool.
Mr. George Richards, everybody.
Thanks so much again.
And
Cheers.
thanks, Amy
Hey,
Massey.
Georgie boy.
Massive.
Thank you.